live, going live, going live, going live, going live, going live, and according to YouTube, I am live. I love watching live, I love if you watch from playback, and welcome to my 43rd, I had to look then, my 43rd I Let's Say live stream on this channel. So basically, if you don't know what live streams are, essentially once or twice or maybe even 3 times a week, although definitely 3 times this week, I talk about current movie and TV topics going on in the movie and TV world right now. And at the same time though, I'll also be answering any live questions sent in during this live stream. So if you are watching this live and you want to send in a live question, please feel free to do so in the live chat below. And also, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream. Anyway, just before I get into my big main topics today, I just want to say a couple of things off the bat and just make sure that you guys can actually hear me. Yeah, you can. Sorry, I wasn't sure I got the audio working there. But yes, just want to talk about a couple of things off the bat first. First of all, I live next to a main road, so if you hear like a tractor, a truck, a car, or loud motorbike going past at any point during this live stream, I do apologise for interrupting with the sound. That's out of my control. Also, even so I live in the countryside, it sometimes feels like I live next to a building site because there's always work going on in the houses next to me. So at some point, you do hear drilling in the background of this live stream. Again, I do apologise. It's also my control. Can't even speak right today. Also out of my control. And also, basically, in the last couple of live streams, the stream actually hasn't been the best. So again, if the stream cuts out at any point during this live stream, I do apologise. That's out of my control. It shouldn't do, but it might, because OBS sometimes does cut in and out, and I do apologise. That's not me, that is the stream, because my connection is fine. So it should just be the stream if that does happen, and I do apologise if it does. And also, the reason I'm doing this live stream earlier today is because I'm busy for the rest of the day. Honestly, I've got so much going on today. It's ridiculous. I've got so much going on at the moment. So I should just say this. Over the next couple of weeks leading up to Christmas, I will still be uploading and still be doing live streams and whatnot, but I won't be doing nearly as much as I kind of do at the moment because I have so much going on, and I don't have the time to literally just sit down and do YouTube videos all the time at the moment. I've got so many essays to write and so many work to do and just so much going on. I'm really busy at the moment. So I'm only just literally making a bit of time for this live stream today. Honestly, I'm so busy, and I'm not sure I'm going to have the time to do as many uploads and live streams as I potentially would like to, leading up to some films which are coming out soon. Like, I don't know, I'm really excited for like Ghostbusters Afterlife. I'm seeing that tomorrow. I'm really excited for it, but I'm probably not going to talk about my anticipation because I don't have enough time during the live streams. There's a lot more else I want to talk about, and also the fact that, you know, we have other movies coming out soon, like House of Gucci. We have the new Paul Thomas Anderson film, you know, Licorice Pizza, which is starring, you know, Philip Seymour Hoffman's son, which I'm very excited about. But again, I'm not going to really talk much about it other than probably when I do my review, and even that, I might not get around to my review because I've got so much going on. Honestly, King Richard, the new film about Venus and Serena Williams, is coming out soon. It's coming out, I think, this Friday. Yeah, I really want to see that. But the thing is, though, because I'm so busy at the moment, I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to. And that's a shame. That is a shame because I'm so busy right now. And also the new Steven Spielberg film, so I started looking forward to that. But I won't be able to talk much about that on the channel. At the same time, though, I probably won't be able to make as many, you know, live streams talking about my anticipation for the new Spider-Man, which I'm talking about today. I won't be able to make that many live streams talking about my anticipation for that film just because I am so busy. To get the point, I'm really busy, so I do apologise. Over the next couple of weeks, although I will still be uploading and do live streams, I will still be doing them. I just won't be doing them as much as I've been doing them recently, if you got what I mean there. But nevertheless, I am powering through, and I'm going to do as many as possible leading up to all these big films that I'm really excited for, like Ghostbusters, House of Gucci, what other movies coming out? West Side Story, got that as well. Also Spider-Man, The Kingsman, and so on and so on and so on. I will also be doing live streams and film reviews, just not as many as I've been doing recently. But anyway, without further ado, let's talk about these topics today. So today, I'm talking about 3 big topics. I'm talking about, my first big topic today is all about these new Star Wars movies, which are meant to be coming pretty soon, are all getting delayed and shelved, and we'll kind of find out the reason why, which is a bit upsetting. But at the same time, though, I'm also talking about some positive Star Wars news to do with the Obi-Wan Kenobi series and some small footage we got from that last week. And also, I'm of course talking about Spider-Man No Way Home and its new trailer, which was released last night, which is still my most anticipated movie for the rest of 2021. And I'll be talking about my feelings and thoughts and do a mini breakdown about the new Spider-Man trailer. But anyway, before I talk about Spider-Man, which I have on the screen there, before I talk about Spider-Man, I'm talking about Star Wars first. So let's jump into this main topic. So basically, the first main topic today is all about the Star Wars movies, which are meant to be coming in 2023 onwards. and are not. And basically, we're finding out the reason why. It's all because of creative differences. Now, my last live stream, about a week ago now, my last live stream, I talked about Patty Jenkins' new Star Wars movie, Rogue Squadron, which was meant to be coming out in Christmas 2023. However, it got delayed, and the reasons we were getting was because of scheduling conflicts. We now know that's not true, because, well, scheduling conflicts doesn't really make any sense, but also, now we know it's not true because there's reports coming out because of creative differences between Patty Jenkins and the people at Lucasfilm. In particular, Kathleen Kennedy is the head of Lucasfilm. And by the way, I should say here, I'm not one of these nerds online who doesn't like Kathleen Kennedy. I think she's a splendid producer. You know, she produced some of my favourite films of all time, Jurassic Park, E.T. She produced almost every single Steven Spielberg film, and I'm a huge fan of most of his work. And also, she produced some of the other fantastic films like Seabiscuit and so on and so on and so on. She's a great producer. Just, she hasn't handled Star Wars the best. I just got to admit there. And the thing is, though, I'm not just saying that because she's a woman or anything like that. I'm not being sexist or anything like that. You know, if it was a man handling Lucasfilm, I probably would say the same thing if he did just like this type of job. When, you know, directors coming in and out and leaving, it's not a good thing that. You know, Colin Trevorrow came in and wrote a full-on script for Star Wars Episode 9, and then he got fired before production, well, when pre-production was taking place, because they weren't on the same page. He wrote a full-on script, and you can actually go and find the script online. You know, there's people who've been talking about the script. And the script for Episode 9, his version sounded great. I mean, the execution might not have been there, but his script for Episode 9 sounded great. And even so, I do like The Rise of Skywalker, I do like the way it turned out in the end, with J.J. Abrams directing, it still makes me think, what would that other film? What would that other film be like? You know, that other film with Colin Trevorrow. What would that be like? I don't know. And the thing is, well, we'll never know. And also, you know, Solo is meant to be directed by Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who also directed the Lego Movie, which is a wonderful movie. And then they got fired. Ron Howard was brought on him. So Ron Howard is a fantastic director. In the end, Solo ended up being, you know, the one Star Wars movie out of all them released from, you know, 2015 to 2019 that I'm not the biggest fan of. I've just got to admit, there's a couple of moments in Solo I kind of like, but overall I think Solo is just a huge mess. Then anyway, it looks like with all the other problems that Lucasfilm have been having, it looks like they're going to have more problems with more films coming down the line. And so if we jump into Google here, give me a sec, jump into Google, optical illusion. If you jump into Google here and we go to comicbook.com, or you can always tell me reading this, if we jump into Google here, there's a nice little video from Willow, by the way, the new Disney Plus series, which is going to be quite interesting. I'll probably check that out because it's Warwick Davis. But anyway, that's neither here or there. Anyway, let's talk about what comicbook.com has to say about the new Star Wars movie being delayed and what's going forward for Star Wars directors in the future. It wasn't too long ago Star Wars Rogue Squadron was expected to be the next Star Wars film to hit theatres. Christmas 2023 actually was meant to be. At one point, it was going to enter pre-production by the end of this year and pick up principal photography early 2022. Now the film's been delayed indefinitely and will likely no longer meet its current release date of December 22nd, 2023, unfortunately. Though Lucasfilm has yet to officially comment on the matter, one Hollywood insider suggests creative differences between the studio and filmmaker Patty Jenkins led to the delay, and it's unclear if the two sides will be working together at a later date. So I want to point this out there. This is not like... It has not been run by like major, you know, news sources like, you know, Variety and so on and so on and so on. But nevertheless, it seems quite accurate. And I'd be surprised if this was wrong, put it that way. The latest report comes from former THR editor Matthew Bellany, might pronounce his name wrong, apologies I am, who says Jenkins was frustrated by the micromanagement of the select Lucasfilm executives, eventually opting to pursue other opportunities while Lucasfilm worked on fixing its internal problems. And then it says here, that's not unusual, of course, but it's a laughable recurring problem at Lucasfilm under President Kathleen Kennedy, say agents. Top filmmakers are dying to make a Star Wars movie until they sign on and experience the micromanagement and plot point by committee process. And he says here again, it happened with the Game of Thrones guys, David Benioff and Dan Wise, who were hired to create a new trilogy but bailed. It also happened to Rian Johnson, writer and director of 2017's The Last Jedi, whose own planned trilogy was shelved. Jenkins wasn't willing to stick around, and she has other projects, notably 113, at Warner Brothers, where she enjoys more creative freedom. Now, the only thing I want to say about that, which means this might not be completely accurate, is that last line. Jenkins wasn't willing to stick around, and she has other projects, notably Wonder Woman 3, at Warner Brothers, where she enjoys more creative freedom. Now, I don't know if anyone heard, but when Patty Jenkins was promoting, you know, the last Wonder Woman film, Wonder Woman 1984, She said that she didn't have a lot of creative freedom on the last one. She said that there was a lot more management from Warner Brothers as a whole. So that's kind of interesting, the fact that the guy's saying that, because it might not be correct. But I think that's kind of interesting that apparently she has more creative freedom at Warner Brothers. But I'm hearing with the last Wonder Woman film that potentially she didn't. But anyway, that's just what I've heard. But nevertheless, it sounds like it's all creative differences. And that's a problem with Lucasfilm right now. It's a problem because I don't understand why Kathleen Kennedy is not getting on the same page as her directors, her filmmakers, and her writers. This is a problem. Because, Rogue Squadron was announced about a year ago, and we haven't heard a lot about it over the past year, and I thought they were writing it. I thought they were spending a lot of time writing it. And then, about a year after its announcement, we're hearing all these things like it's been delayed, we don't know what's happening, Patty Jenkins is moving on to other projects because of scheduling conflicts, and now she's moving on because of creative differences. It's just not good. This is not good for Star Wars. I mean, I'm excited for all the other TV projects, don't get me wrong. I'm excited for the Book of Boba Fett at the end of this year. I'm excited for Obi-Wan. I'm excited for Andor. I'm excited for Mandalorian Season 3, and so on and so on and so on. I'm very excited to what Star Wars has to hold on TV, but I also want to see it on the big screen again. And the thing is, though, the next movie, I was really looking forward to Christmas 2023. I was really looking forward to the next Star Wars movie, and now it's been delayed indefinitely. We don't really know when the next Star Wars movie is going to be. I mean, I know Taika Waititi is co-writing and directing another Star Wars movie, but even that's not got a specific release date yet, and that's a shame. That is really a shame, because I want to know when the next Star Wars movie is going to come out. I really want to know, and the thing is, though, I sound like Kate Blanchett after Kenobi Crystal Skull there, didn't I? I want to know. No, but yes, I really want to know when the next Star Wars movie is going to come out, because we don't have a specific release date yet, and it's a shame that this keeps happening. Is Kathleen Kennedy not learning? It happened with Solo. Like I said before, you have Phil Lord and Christopher Miller. Phil Lord and Christopher Miller, who were doing Solo, and then they left the project because of creative differences. Then you had the same stuff going on with Star Wars 9 with Clan Chavarro meant to direct, and they had the same stuff going on with the Game of Thrones guys who meant to do their own trilogy that they left. Rian Johnson, who directed the Star Wars movie, was meant to do his own trilogy, and according to this report, it's been shelved, and that's a shame. That's a shame, and especially Rian Johnson, who had already worked with Kathleen Kennedy before. Like, I do find that a bit interesting that he's already worked with Kathleen Kennedy, and then she sells his next project, his next Star Wars project anyway, because I didn't expect it to go that way. But nevertheless, you get the point. It's not good at the moment. It's not good what's going on with Star Wars, and I'm really looking forward to the next film, because we don't know what it's going to be. That's what's a shame. We don't know what it's going to be. And that's a bit more negative news, because creative differences. That's happened a lot with Star Wars recently. Too much, in my opinion. And really, Kathleen Kennedy should be sitting down with these filmmakers and saying, okay, what do you want to do? Let's make sure we're on the same page before we officially announce anything. And so it doesn't make us look like a complete mess. But instead, it's the other way around. They're not sitting down, they're not going through the script, they're not going through the story, and instead it's making Lucasfilm look like a complete mess. It is making them look like a complete mess when they keep losing directors, filmmakers, time and time again. Honestly, I hate to say this, but I wouldn't be surprised if Taika Waititi it didn't end up making a Star Wars movie. I mean, do you remember, like, last year on Disney Plus Day, they announced all these Star Wars projects. Like, there's a Lando series in the works, which sounded great. You had all these different stuff. You had the Acolyte series, which was going to happen, which that meant to focus on the Siths. You had all these fantastic Star Wars news coming out. And we haven't really heard anything about any of them. I mean, Andor's finished shooting. You have Obi-Wan, which has finished shooting. And yes, we've had all these things which have finished shooting and things like that. But there's no been any word on the Lando series. And I just think that's a shame. Because, Star Wars, it's amazing. And it should bring filmmakers together and things like that. But instead, it just feels like they're separating them. It just feels like the people at Lucasfilm don't really know how to handle their filmmakers at the moment. Which is a huge shame. It really is. And by the way, don't say like Marvel's not done this as well, because Edgar Wright was meant to direct the Ant-Man movie, and Patty Jenkins was meant to direct Thor: The Dark World, and there's all these directors come in and out of Marvel as well, so it's not just Star Wars, but it's Star Wars more. It's happened more at Star Wars, which is a shame. It is a shame because there's so much love in Star Wars, and in the end, it just feels like they're kind of getting wasted on creative differences. But anyway, that's topic number 1. It's some slightly negative Star Wars news, but nevertheless, it could be worse. At least they're not saying Rogue Squadron is being completely cancelled yet. But I wouldn't be surprised if it never happens though. But anyway, Yes, that is the end of topic number 1 on this live stream for today. And just before I move on to topic number 2, I'm going to close my curtain because I got the light shining on me a bit too much. So just give me a second here. Apologies about this. That should give me a bit more light now. Yes, hopefully you guys can see me a bit better than it was before because there's a lot of light shining on the sun from out there. It wasn't sunny when I started this live stream. So, but yeah, anyway, yes, that is the end of topic number 1 on this live stream. So, without further ado, let's move into topic number 2, which is a bit more positive Star Wars news. And topic number 2 is all about Obi-Wan Kenobi, the new Star Wars series, my most anticipated Star Wars series for 2022. Anyway, it's my most anticipated series of 2022 in general. Not only my most anticipated Star Wars series, but it's my most anticipated series to come out next year. Honestly, I cannot wait to see Obi-Wan Kenobi. I cannot wait to see these characters return. You know, Ewan McGregor to return as Obi-Wan Kenobi. I can't wait to see Hayden Christensen return as Anakin Skywalker, aka Darth Vader in the new series. I also can't wait to see some big surprises because I bet you'll have them. Like I bet James Earl Jones will return to voice Darth Vader because he loves doing it. I also bet we'll get some cameos from like Liam Neeson as Qui-Gon Jinn. And you know, pure speculation. Obviously, I don't know. I haven't really leaks, but nevertheless, I bet that's what's going to be the case. I also bet we might get a cameo from like Jimmy Smits, our Senator Bail Organa. We might get a cameo from Yoda. We might get a cameo from all these other actors who've been in previous prequel movies / originals as well. You never know. Like we know Joel Edgerton is returning as a young Uncle Ben. And we only briefly saw him in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith, so that's all exciting as well. But yes, Obi-Wan Kenobi is my most anticipated series for 2022. I cannot wait to see the show. It's coming out March next year. And a sizzle came out the other day, basically regarding this new series. At least we had one bit of good Star Wars news in the past week. We had one bit of good Star Wars news, which was the Obi-Wan Kenobi sizzle. And here's what this article says from Nerdist. It's a lot of fun as fans of Star Wars to piece together bits of the timeline through context clues. We knew for a long time before we saw it that Obi-Wan Kenobi fought in something called the Clone Wars. It took even longer to see the operation but yeah, yes, basically this was the sizzle. We got some images from the sizzle here, so that's Ewan McGregor. It's only concept art, so it's not actually, you know, real images from the show, which is a bit odd, by the way, and I'll be talking about that a bit shortly. But yes, there's some more concept art. There's a good duel going on, Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. And actually, here's the clip online, which is quite exciting. Coming from Star Wars Coffee there. Just gonna skip that a little bit. Okay, so here we are. There's Ewan McGregor talking about the role. You know, he's talked about the fact there's a thirst for the character to come back, and there definitely is. I'm really excited to see where it's gonna take it. Deborah Charlie director, who's also worked on, you know, some of the best episodes of The Mandalorian so far. And also, look at these images. Look great. Like, that looks like a fantastic set piece. That looks great. Looks like Star Wars extending in the best way possible. You know, got these fantastic. That's a clip from Revenge of the Sith there. There's some more Star Wars images. Set pieces look great. Hopefully, they're great when actually, you know, when we actually see them in real life instead of just on these sizzles. And if we skip a bit here as well, there's another image. Then we have Ewan training as well, which looks very exciting. But anyway, yes, that's another image of Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. And that's just some concept art again. So it's all looking great. There's Ewan looking very happy about it all. He says something like, I hope you have as much fun watching it as we had making it, which is great. So they've had a lot of fun making it, and it's finished principal photography, which means they'll probably do some reshoots soon, but nevertheless, it's finished principal photography, and it's looking like it could be great. But I just got to admit, I wish we got a bit more footage, because they finished shooting the show. Like, I wish we got our first image, or just like some behind the scenes feature out, something like that. And I know we got the image of, you know, Obi-Wan training, or should I say Ewan McGregor training for the Obi-Wan fight. I understand we got that image, but still, I would have liked to see a bit more of just, I don't know, something going on, and maybe just some of the set pieces instead of just seeing, you know, concept art of the set pieces. I would have just liked to see more of the actual set pieces, because I'm sure they're fantastic. I'm not saying anything bad about them. I wanted to see them. That's all I'm saying. I wanted to see fantastic set pieces, and I also wanted to see more of Hayden Christensen. We haven't really seen him in the role back. We haven't really seen any of the other characters back either, because we know some new cast members on, like Kumail Nanjiani is coming into there as well. So we know there's all these cast members coming in there. I just would have liked to see a bit more. I'm not saying what we saw is bad. I think the concept art looks great. I just would have liked to see a bit more, because, you know, there isn't, I don't know, just The concept art looked fantastic. It looked like proper Star Wars. It looks like it's extending Star Wars universe in the best way possible. I'm not saying anything bad about that, but I would have liked to see more set pieces and more footage. And I understand that the show isn't coming out till March next year, so we've got a while to wait for the show to actually come out. But still, I just would have liked to see a bit more footage. Maybe of Ewan McGregor and Hayden Christensen practicing their dueling. That would be fantastic. And I understand that the Book of Boba Fett's coming out beforehand, but still, I don't know. I just would have liked to see a bit more Obi-Wan footage to get us really excited, but it's still my most anticipated series for next year, for 2022. I can't wait for this show. And, when we do get some more footage, when we do get some more solid footage, which isn't just a sizzle reel of concept art, I will be talking about it non-stop on this channel. Honestly, I'm so excited for Obi-Wan. So ridiculously excited. And I'm hoping it pulls off all the stops, because this series has got so much potential. It really has. You can have so many fantastic cameos in there, and so many fantastic, little character returns, and some really fantastic story. Maybe not just, Obi-Wan protecting Luke, but also, protecting the young Luke at that, but also, you can have this whole fantastic thing like, what is Obi-Wan now? Who's he now after all the Jedi have been defeated? That could be really, really interesting in my opinion. And hopefully it goes for a similar route. And hopefully it has some fantastic cameos and fantastic set pieces. I just haven't seen them yet. I just wish we got to see more set pieces than we actually did. But nevertheless, I'm very happy with what we saw. I just wish we got to see something like solid and real instead of just some concept art. But it looks great. And, in the end, I bet the series will be great as a whole. It's Deborah Chow directing. She did some fantastic job in the Mandalorian episode that she did direct. And also, I bet she's going to do a great job here. It looks great. Ewan McGregor looks happy with it as well. And I'm really looking forward to seeing it. Like I said before, it's my most anticipated series for 2022. And I am ridiculously excited to see it. I'm ridiculously excited to see the show. Especially, as you've already heard, the Hayden Christensen is returning. And also, we've still know the Empire stuff as well. I'm interested to see the Empire between episode 3 and 4, because we haven't seen a lot of that. I mean, don't get me wrong, I know we had Rogue One and Solo, but Solo didn't really go into that direction. Solo's more about gambling and stuff like that. And Rogue One, yes, we had a bit of a deep dive into the Empire between episode 3 and 4, but, it was more closer to episode 4. This series sounds like it's going to be more after episode 3, which is really exciting. I would like to see where the Empire is, 10 years or so after Revenge of the Sith. That's a really exciting prospect in my opinion, and hopefully the series goes in that direction. I'm really looking forward to it, and I'll be talking more about footage when it comes out. But now, the sizzle looks fine, but it looks great actually, it looks great. It looks like a really good sizzle, but I wish we got to see a bit more, because he have finished shooting, and I just don't understand why they didn't show us, I don't know, Ewan going to set for the first time and reunited with Hayden Christensen. That would have been a really nice, bit of footage to see there. But in the end, I'm sure we'll get to see that in the upcoming months. But, for now, we had a sizzle. It looks pretty nice, and I'm looking forward to what we have in store with Obi-Wan in 2022. And so that is the end of topic number 2 on this live stream for today. So without further ado, let's move into the big main topic for today, which I can't wait to talk about. But just before I do, I'm going to have a quick drink of water, because I've been talking for about half an hour now. Needed that, right. Actually, correction, I've been talking for about 25 minutes, but I'm going to be talking probably another 25 minutes because of the next topic, which is all about Spider-Man No Way Home. You cannot understand my ridiculous excitement for this film. I almost said this show again, I was thinking about Obi-Wan. No, you cannot understand my ridiculous excitement for this film. Honestly, I can't wait to see it. And, funny enough, I don't know if it's true, but I'm hearing some reports that in the UK, the film comes out on December 15th, 2 days earlier than in the US. And, I don't know if that's true, but if that is true, I'm in the UK, so I got to see it 2 days before all the people in the US. And I'll get to know all the secrets and all the big surprises, things like that. And that's really exciting. I mean, I don't know if I'm going to go and see it at midnight, though, which is a bit of a shame. I don't know if I'm going to see it at midnight anymore. But I'm definitely going to go and watch it either the day it comes out or the day after, something like that. I'm going to be very eager to watch this film, because I don't really want to hear anything that happens. I'm already hearing some stuff, through the grapevine and through, rumours, and, I'm hearing some stuff online. And I'm hoping some of it's, I'm trying to stay away from it. That's what I'm trying to say. I'm trying to stay away from it as best as possible. However, today, or should I say yesterday, last night in the UK, the trailer released. And I've got to admit here, I don't love the trailer. I like the trailer quite a lot. I don't love it. But I was happy with the fact that they're not revealing Tom Maguire and Andrew Garfield just yet. I think they could actually do it in a real special way, and I think they are in the movie, by the way. I think this trailer is hinting at them in the movie more than anything. But at the same time, though, I am happy they're not in the trailer. But I got to admit, I just didn't love the trailer as a whole. It looked a bit generic MCU-esque. What's what I'm trying to say? It looked a bit generic MCU-esque in some ways. It didn't look like it was just a Spider-Man movie, more or less. It looked like it was, I don't know, it just looked more MCU than Spider-Man in some parts. But nevertheless, I don't think the film will be like that, because I think the film's going to be very Spider-Man-centric. I think the film's going to focus very much on Spider-Man's story and things like that. But it just looked a bit MCU generic. But nevertheless, there was a lot in this trailer which I really, really liked. For example, let's talk about one of the big things in the trailer, which is all about the story. Peter's identity has been revealed. He is Spider-Man. People know now that Peter Parker is Spider-Man. I love that idea. I talked about that when I talked about my feelings on the first trailer of Spider-Man No Way Home, and I'm talking about it again here. I love that idea because it hasn't really happened in a Spider-Man movie today. I mean, don't get me wrong, in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films with Tom Maguire, there's people who knew he was Spider-Man, like, MJ, Harry, May, those people knew he was Spider-Man, but for the most part, a lot of people didn't. And also in the Amazing Spider-Man movies, you had Gwen who knew he was Spider-Man, you had Gwen's father as well, and some other stuff. But still, yes, he didn't really have everyone know that he was Peter Parker in the Amazing Spider-Man movies. However, in the Tom Holland ones, it has been revealed in Spider-Man Far From Home that now everyone knows the identity of Peter Parker. Everyone knows the identity of Spider-Man, should I say. That's right, the identity of Spider-Man. Everyone knows that it's Peter Parker, which is a really exciting idea because there's a really good angle you could get with that. And it looks like this movie is going in that direction. And I like the look of all the new different villains in the trailer. In fact, should I get it up? I'm going to get it up. Give me a sec here. I have the trailer up in there. So yes, let's look out to some of the shots in the trailer. By the way, it looks like it's a really well shot film, which is really exciting. I like the whole dark look there. That looks like it could be quite a tragic scene, actually. Okay. Oh, that's going to be interesting. Public Enemy #1, we had that in the first trailer. There's Peter surrounded by helicopters and things like that. I like that little moment, but basically says the one normal week I've had when I was Spider-Man was the week I was with you in Venice or something like that. I'm paraphrasing there, but it's a line like in the trailer, and I like that idea because in the end, that's a really good shot by the way. But in the end, you got to understand that Peter Parker is meant to be a teenager, so it's a really good idea that he's been really stressed with the fact that he's been Spider-Man and things like that. We like that idea. Also, they've got the Green Goblin bomb there. We had that in the first trailer, but hinting again on more of Green Goblin, and then we actually see him go for the clouds. And then there's a bit more of Electro there. Doc Ock there coming through the bridge. That's exciting. There's Alpha Molina again, shot from the first trailer, but still we get a bit more of this here. Fantastic action sequence there. Looks like that's really exciting. And then he says something there. I haven't got the subtitles up, but he says something there like, "You're not Peter Parker." Elephant in the room. Elephant in the fucking room, okay? Sorry, I just wanted to point that out. Elephant in the room. We've been talking about that for such a long time. You're bringing all the villains back, like Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, Lizard, and Sandman. You're bringing all those villains back, but you're not bringing back the Spider-Man. It's the elephant in the room, because there's going to be a scene where, they unmask Tom Holland Spider-Man, whichever villain, whether it's Doc Ock, Electro, Green Goblin, and so on and so on and so on. There's going to be a scene where they unmask Tom Holland Spider-Man and go, "But you're not the Peter Parker I faced off against." And that's what happened in the trailer there. Sorry, that just really excited me. I watched the trailer this morning in bed, and I was really excited by the show. I was like, yes, it's the elephant in the room, and they're addressing that because it's hinting at Tom Maguire returning. Sorry, that really, really excited me. And anyway, this all looks fantastic. Oh, I really like that shot. I didn't see that shot before. See, he noticed everything when it happens. I like the little joke there between Doc Ock. I like when they make fun of stuff like that, because it's kind of playing on the superhero drama a bit and on the Spider-Man movies. I like that a bit. I mean, I didn't love that in the trailer, but I thought it worked. There's Electro there. Oh, that's quite exciting. I didn't really like the Scooby-Doo joke. I've got to admit, I'm not the biggest fan of the Scooby-Doo joke there. But nevertheless, it's in the DNA of these Tom Holland Spider-Man movies so far. And, I don't mind a bit of comedy in there which doesn't work. I don't mind a tiny bit which doesn't work, but then we've got some more shots. There's J. Jonah Jameson. We had J. Jonah Jameson there. It looks like the MCU version. This could, by the way, I'm going to get the shot. This film could have 3 different J. Jonah Jamesons in there. Can we bear that in mind? This film could have 3 different J. Jonah Jamesons in there. How exciting would that be? Just a scene, could be like a post-credit scene It's just 3 J. Jonah Jamesons. You know, the one from the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, the one from the Amazing Spider-Man films, which we'd never met, by the way, but it was implied in the Amazing Spider-Man 2 that there's no J. Jonah Jameson. And then the one here, which we're seeing here now, the one that we briefly saw in Spider-Man Far From Home in the post-credits scene, you know, imagine a scene with it all together. They're just shouting at each other. It's just, you know, 3 J.K. Simmonses as J. Jonah Jameson together would be hilarious. Even just 2, even just the one from Sam Raimi's Spider-Man films, or even the one from, you know, Spider-Man Far From Home as well, which is going to be returning here. That was great. I really like that idea of having, you know, 3 Jonah Jamesons in there. I like that shot, by the way. I just like the cloud pink there. The Iron Spider, more of that. Not the biggest fan of that, but it looks like the suit's going to be wet, so that'll be alright. Green Goblin bomb there. We haven't had a good look at Green Goblin yet in this trailer. It happens soon, doesn't it? Oh, more. Ooh, Doctor Strange and Spider-Man. Ooh, having a little bit of a fight there. Ooh, what's going to be happening here? I'm hearing some rumours online that, you know, they're going to have a bit of conflict in the film, which is really exciting. Not really sure what's going on there. Give me a sec, sorry. Not really sure what's going on there. It's Doctor Octopus going to, you know, take over the Iron Spider suit. He's going to take the technology from it. I'm not sure if that's a brilliant idea, but, you know, it could be done well. It could be done well. I'm not, not what I would have done. That's what I'm trying to say. But it could be done well, so I'm not too bothered about that if they go in that direction. That was like a really good shot. Oh, look at Electro there. Ooh, I like the look of Electro. I mean, I didn't mind. Actually, I tell a lie there. I wasn't the biggest fan of the Electro, the way they designed Electro in the Amazing Spider-Man 2, but here he looks, you know, I'm not a comic book reader, but I have seen online on Twitter, specifically, you know, this morning, I have seen it looks a bit more comic accurate, and actually, I think the more comic accurate look is really exciting. I like the fact that he's got yellow lightning now. That's a really good idea. Looks like the CGI is really good, by the way, at the moment. There's more of Tom Holland's Spider-Man. We're good. There's some multiverse stuff. That's interesting. There's Green Goblin. Yes. Sorry. There's Green Goblin. So excited. Only problem is that it looks CGI. I hope he isn't CGI for a lot of this movie. I hope they really go full on great with Green Goblin and use practical effects, which they did in the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films. I don't think they will because it's the MCU, which is a bit of a shame. But in the end, I know this one's trying to balance, you know, so many villains. But still, that was great. I love the look of Green Goblin there, and you do hear Willem Dafoe's voice in the trailer. I forgot what he says, something like that. But yeah, I love that look. I love the fact that Green Goblin's back. So we're going to get the 2 best Spider-Man villains today. You know, Spider-Man movie villains, because obviously I went the comics, so I don't know. But we're going to get the 2 best Spider-Man movie villains today on the same screen together. You know, Doc Ock and Green Goblin. And that is really, really exciting, in my opinion. But anyway, let's see what more the trailer has. There's some really exciting stuff going on. So, oh, look at all the villains. So we have Lizard there, we have Sandman, that is definitely Sandman confirmed, and Electro, so that's really exciting. And Empire Magazine, I'm trusting them here. They have confirmed that Rissin Vance is returning as Kurt Connor, aka the Lizard. Pardon me there. And they've also confirmed that Thomas Hayden Church is returning as Sandman, so they won't just be CGI in the film. There will be a couple of moments when they're actually human, which is also quite exciting, because I think Thomas Hayden Church and Rissin Vance did both splendid jobs in their roles. I mean, I wasn't the biggest fan of The Amazing Spider-Man 1, but I do think Rissin Vance was actually one of the perks of that film. But anyway, let's jump a bit more here. And we've got a bit more footage and stuff there going on. Look at that fight. Right, I want to point out here, Tom Holland looks like he's going for Sandman or Electro. Probably looks like he's going for Sandman, okay? Who the hell's a Lizard fighting? Who the hell's Electro fighting? I think at this shot, I think that Tobey Maguire and Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man have been edited out the shot, because I don't know where the Lizard is aiming his attack at. I really don't know what's going on there. I'm not entirely sure. So I'm going to assume, pure speculation, I don't know, but I'm going to assume in this shot alone that, I don't know, Tobey Maguire's going for Electro and Andrew Garfield's going for the Lizard. I don't know, but that looks like it could be the case. And again, this all looks great, looks like a lot of fun. But this is really interesting. MJ falling, Tom Holland's trying to get her, Tom Holland's Spider-Man. Okay, just going to rewind a little bit there to get a hand shot. Oh, didn't do enough there. I don't want to go into full screen. Sorry about this. Just quickly edit out. I just want to get into that shot where we see the hand, because I don't think that's Tom Holland's Spider-Man's hand. I think that's going to be Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man. Or Andrew Garfield's Spider-Man will be at the bottom. I know, you know, just capture MJ just in time. Because that scene, just that moment where MJ's falling, is very reminiscent of, you know, Gwen Gwen's death, or spoilers there for The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but if you didn't know that, you're kind of on a rock. But yes, Gwen's death in The Amazing Spider-Man 2 is very similar to the way MJ's fallen here. And also, this scene is a bit, by the way, it's playing back to, it's a bit reminiscent of the Mysterio nightmare sequence in Spider-Man Far From Home as well, where it was, it was foreshadowing the fact. So, disconnected there. My OBS disconnected, which is a shame. Hopefully you got to see what I was saying there. But yes, basically what I was saying, just in case you didn't hear that, because my OBS is connected, I did warn this may happen. But yes, just in case you didn't get what I was saying there, basically, I think that MJ from the trailer, I think she's going to get caught by Andrew Garfield Spider-Man because, he didn't manage to capture Gwen in The Amazing Spider-Man 2. So I think here's going to be a bit like his redemption. So, Peter Parker, Tom Holland's Peter Parker doesn't use a lover like he does. And also it's a bit reminiscent of the Mysterio nightmare sequence where it was kind of foreshadowed that MJ would fall off a high building and Tom Holland's Spider-Man wouldn't be there to save him. And, to save her, should I say, to save her, and it looks like that foreshadowing is coming to fruition there, which is quite exciting. But I do think this trailer hints a lot of, Andrew Garfield and Tom Maguire. I do think there's a lot of hinting in there, and if they're not in this movie, I've talked about it before, and I'll say it again, it's a huge missed opportunity, and I think Marvel and Sony know that. I think Marvel and Sony know the huge missed opportunity they're going to have in their hands if those two, all three Spider-Men are not together in this movie. I think they know that big missed opportunity because, this is your one time to really do that. You have all the villains, and if you like the elephant in the room, if you like a scene where, Electro unmasks Tom Holland Spider-Man, and it's not Andrew Garfield, or a scene where Green Goblin unmasks Tom Holland Spider-Man, and it's not Tom Maguire. You get what I'm trying to say there. There's going to be a scene like that. I mean, there's actually a scene in the trailer where Doc Ock unmasks Tom Holland Spider-Man, and it's not Tom Maguire. It's the elephant in the room, and I just think it's a missed opportunity. I think it's a huge missed opportunity. One of the biggest missed opportunities in the history, actually, if they're not in this movie. Because imagine how angry some of the fans will be, by the way. I won't be angry, per se, but I will be disappointed if they're not in this movie. I've got to admit that. My nerdy self, I've just got to admit, if they're not in this movie, I won't be angry, because if the movie's great anyway, I'll still quite enjoy it. But if they're not in this movie, I will be disappointed, and it will be one of my nitpicks of the film. But not a nitpick, actually, one of my, problems with the film in general, if they're not in this movie. But hopefully I'm wrong. Hopefully they are in this movie. Hopefully they really are. And, the funny thing was yesterday, before the trailer dropped, Andrew Garfield was on a talk show, something like that. It's one of those American Good Morning talk shows, and they asked him, "Are you inspired by it?" He goes, "I'm not in the movie," quite sincere. And I thought he was telling the truth. I've since gone back on myself with the recent trailer, and I think there's about, I'm going to say it's about a 90% chance in the film. There's still a 10% of me saying they might not be, and I've got to bear in mind, nothing has been confirmed. We all have to bear that in mind. Nothing has been confirmed with Andrew Garfield and Tom Maguire in this movie. Nothing has been confirmed. I feel like a broken record with that, but it's the truth. Nothing has been confirmed with them in this movie, so it's about 10% of me going, maybe they're not, and maybe it's just Tom Holland having to fight with all these villains, but then about 9% of me is saying, is Tom Holland Spider-Man really going to defeat Green Goblin, Doc Ock, Electro, Sandman, and the Lizard all by himself? I really can't imagine Tom Holland Spider-Man doing all that. I mean, I think Tom Holland's done a splendid job, but I also think he's probably, and I don't mean it's in a bad way, by the way, but I also think he's probably the weakest of all three Spider-Men, because he seems like he's the most, again, I don't mean it's in a bad way, but it seems like he's the most childish, because in the end, I feel like Tom Holland really embodies that, image of a teenage Peter Parker in a really good way, but also, I think, he's presented in the most childish way, not in a bad way, but I just think he's presented in the most childish way, so I don't think he'll be able to fight and win against all five villains. And so, I might be wrong, maybe he does, and maybe he gets help from Doctor Strange, MJ, and Ned, but wouldn't it be better if he got help from the two other Spider-Men? I think Sony and Marvel know that. I bet there's even a conversation. Between Sony and Marvel where, I don't know who came up with the idea of 3 Spider-Men. I assume they did, but I don't know who came up with the idea. But I can imagine a conversation being some on lines like, wouldn't it be better if all 3 Spider-Men faced off against all the 5 main villains? Assuming there are 5 main villains, because there could be a 6th, yeah. But nevertheless, yeah, you get the point I'm trying to make. I think that it'd be so much more exciting, so much more exhilarating, so much more emotionally satisfying if it's all 3 Spider-Men together, because it, combine all 3 franchises, things like that, and that's something really special. 3 franchises with the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, Spider-Man 1, 2, and 3 with Tom Maguire, and then the Amazing Amazing Spider-Man films with Andrew Garfield, and then now the Tom Holland Spider-Man films will all be tied together if they're all in this movie. And yes, they're going to be tied together anyway if the villains are in there, but not to the same degree, if you get what I mean. All these three franchises, which were never planned to be combined together, are going to be combined together, it looks like. And that's a really exciting prospect, and hopefully it happens. It's not being confirmed it is, which is a slight bit annoying because there are some people online who don't think will happen. And when they do present their point, sometimes I think, sometimes I think they may be right. But I also think that it's such a big missed opportunity. And if you're coming at this angle, an angle where you're not as big a nerd as I am, you haven't followed as much of the news surrounding Spider-Man No Way Home as I have, maybe you would just look at Spider-Man No Way Home, see the villains coming back, and just simply think, oh, well, the Spider-Man must be coming back then. If you're just a general viewer who's watched all the previous Spider-Man movies beforehand and seen that the villains are coming back, like Lizard, Electro, and so on and so on and so on, if you've seen that all these villains are coming back, then you're just going to think, naturally, okay, the Spider-Man must be coming back. And I just think it'd be so much more emotionally satisfying. They're all fighting together because fans have been wanting to see that for such a long time, and I think this movie is a perfect place to do it. And I do think that if they don't do it in this movie, they're never going to do that idea. They're never going to do the idea of Andrew Garfield and Tobey Maguire together with Tom Holland Spider-Man. I don't think they'll ever do that idea, which would be a shame, but hopefully they do it in this movie. Hopefully they're in this movie, and hopefully it's a fantastic sequence when they show up. Hopefully you get a bit of, that classic Danny Elfman Spider-Man theme for Tom Maguire. Hopefully you get a bit of, Hans Zimmer Spider-Man theme for Andrew Garfield as well, which even though I wasn't the biggest fan of the Amazing Spider-Man 2 musical score, I did still think, Hans Zimmer's main Spider-Man theme for that movie was fantastic. Hopefully you get a bit of the music in there, even within the villains as well. I'd love to get some of the villain music in there as well, with Green Goblin's theme from the Amazing Spider-Man films. No, Green Goblin's theme for the Sam Raimi Spider-Man films, the Doc Ock theme for those films, and also Sandman's theme if possible. I'd also like to get some musical themes in there from the previous Spider-Man franchises. But yes, hopefully it does all that. And I do think the film looks like it's going to be well shot. It looks like John Watts' direction is more confident here. Obviously, we have to wait till the film comes out, but just in the trailer alone, it looks like John Watts is more confident in his direction in this film than he was in the previous two Spider-Man movies. And actually, I have my review of Spider-Man Far From Home coming later this week. So there you go. I'll be talking. That's one of my problems with Spider-Man Far From Home. It's a quite interesting review I've done on that because I don't know. Spider-Man Far From Home, watching it again, I didn't have the same reaction I wanted to. But anyway, we're talking more about that in my Spider-Man Far From Home review coming out later this week. But yes, it looks like John Watts' direction is more confident in this film. It looks like the performance is really good. It looks like comedy's in there. Hopefully, the comedy is not too much. Hopefully there's not too much comedy in this film because I kind of like the darker direction they're going with it. I like the darker direction that, Peter Parker's identity, Spider-Man's identity has been revealed. He's Peter Parker. Now all his friends and family are in trouble. I like that idea. And I like the idea that they're blaming him for Mysterio's death as well, and the death of all these people in London from Spider-Man Far From Home. But still, I hope they don't go too comedic with it. That's what I'm trying to say. I hope they go, comedy's in there, that's fine. It's the MCU, it's comedy. I don't mind it. I don't actually mind it. It's Spider-Man Far From Home, it's Spider-Man Homecoming. But I hope there's not too much comedy in there. I hope they stick with a darker tone. I'd like that more, to be honest. But if there's comedy in there and it works, I'm not going to be too bothered. But also, I hope that it doesn't feel too messy. Because one thing I have been slightly worried about is with the amount of kites in this film, how are they going to balance them all? We've got all these... Start again. We have all these villains returning. We have all 5 villains returning. And then we got all the Tom Holland Spider-Man characters as well. Like all the people from his school, his teacher, May, Happy's back in there. We have, the lawyer who's going to be defending Spider-Man. There's a lot of rumours there is Daredevil. Nothing's been confirmed, but that'd be quite exciting, wouldn't it? But yes, the film's going to balance all these characters. That's what I'm trying to say in the end. And is it going to be able to? I don't know, and I'm hearing some reports. So do bear this with, do take this with a grain of salt. So this might not be true, but I'm hearing some reports that this new Spider-Man movie is going to be, No Way Home, is going to be 2 hours and 49 minutes. If that's true, I'm not so worried about the messiness because I feel they could balance it quite well over that long span of time. But that also might not be true. The thing is though, as long as the film is over 2 hours and a half, I think it could balance all the characters pretty well. I think it still could. However, the runtime hasn't been confirmed yet, but it's looking more and more likely it's going to be over 2 hours and a half, which is good. Which is really good in my opinion. And hopefully it's not too messy. And hopefully the direction is confident. And hopefully all the performances are great. And hopefully they reintroduce all the villains in a fantastic way. There is one thing that we want to talk about actually just before I end this live stream, just before I end this topic. One thing I want to talk about in the trailer is the fact that the Doc Ock says, in all the universes before, and Spider-Man killed all the villains, or something like that. They say that in the trailer. All the villains had died in the previous Spider-Man universe that they've been in, but they're not dead here. So, Doc Ock says, you'll be fighting ghosts. And that's a really good idea, by the way. I like that whole idea, the fact that they're bringing characters back from the dead. And I think that could be really good, particularly with Willem Dafoe's Green Goblin. I like that idea they're bringing characters back who have previously died. But Sandman didn't die. Sandman didn't die at the hands of Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3. And I don't know where they're going to take that, but Sandman didn't die in that movie. And also, if we're counting the post-credit scene of The Amazing Spider-Man 1, Kirk Connors, aka The Lizard, didn't die either. Now, that's only the post-credit scene in Amazing Spider-Man 1, so maybe they're not counting the post-credit scene in the film. I think they should, because I think the Amazing Spider-Man post-credit scene was actually quite important. But if they don't count the post-credit scene, it's not the end of the world, and that makes more sense why the Lizard did die in the Amazing Spider-Man 1. But Sandman didn't die in Spider-Man 3. Sandman didn't die. And unless, I don't know, we might get a flashback when we see Spider-Man actually did die, Sandman actually did die, then that would make more sense. But for now, as far as I know, because obviously I haven't seen the film yet, as far as I know, Sandman didn't die at the hands of Spider-Man in Spider-Man 3. So I don't know whether they're going to take that character. So that's quite interesting. Also, one other thing I want to talk about the villain is Doc Ock. Alfred Lee's Doc Ock, who looks fantastic in the film. It looks like the CGI they've done on his face to make him look a bit younger. Looks great, by the way. We like what they've done there, the de-aging. But he also looks like he might look and be a villain. It doesn't look like he's going to be a villain in this film, which again is an interesting direction to take that character, because actually I thought Doc Ock had a fantastic character arc in Spider-Man 2, and I think bringing him back might have ruined that. But actually, it looks like in this film they're going to give him his own separate character arc, where maybe he's a bit of both. Maybe he's a bit of a villain, maybe he's a bit of a hero. And I think that's going to be quite interesting. And also, it might be interesting to, have Doc Ock facing off against some of the other villains, if he is a hero. Or maybe not a hero, but some sort of an anti-hero. It'd be interesting to see if Doc Ock, there's a scene where Doc Ock is facing off Green Goblin, or Electro, Sandman, or the Lizard. That'd be quite interesting. I think they've done quite well. But, nothing's been confirmed yet. But from the trailer, and it's just a trailer, so it might be completely misdirecting us, but it looks like Doc Ock is not going to be a villain, which would be quite an interesting direction. But anyway, it looks like it's going to be a lot from the Spider-Man movie. It looks like it's going to bring all the three franchises together. Hopefully Maguire and Garfield are in there. It's not being confirmed, but I've said it before and I say it again, it's the elephant in the room. And also, can Tom Holland's Spider-Man really face off against all 5 villains alone? I'm not sure if he can do that. And I'm not sure if Ned and MJ can help too much. And also, I think that one shot of MJ falling is very reminiscent of Gwen falling in the Amazing Spider-Man 2. And I think Andrew Garfield is going to save her from the fall. And I think that's going to be redemption after all these years. Maybe not redemption, but we get what I'm trying to say there. And I also think that, Alpha Millionaire unmasking Tom Holland's Spider-Man saying, "You're not Peter Parker," is clearly hinting at Tom Maguire's Peter Parker, and also aka Spider-Man. I think it's clearly hinting that Tom Maguire's going to be in this movie. Again, that whole thing with the elephant in the room. And I think it makes perfect sense for them to be in there. It's not confirmed. There's going to be plenty of debating over the next month or so, because it comes out in just under a month for me, actually. That's really exciting. I'll probably see this movie in just under a month. That is really exciting, actually. But yes, hopefully they're in there, and hopefully the movie's great. And also, I'm going to say one last thing. Nothing really about the trailer, but doesn't this poster I've got up here look awful? Doesn't this poster just look awful? I don't know why I've got it up here, actually. Doctor Strange looks like he's just being... Look, Doctor Strange looks like it's just being photoshopped in there, and it really doesn't look like good of a poster. It reminds me of the Mysterio on Spider-Man poster from Spider-Man Far From Home. And in fact, I still think this is the best Spider-Man poster we've got yet for the new movie. I think that's really good because it hints at Electro there, got a bit of Green Goblin, got a bit of Doc Ock, got a bit of sand in the background, hint at Sandman. That's a much better poster in my opinion. But anyway, yes, it's a poster there. Posters don't really affect the movie. I've seen a lot of people have a bit of an uproar on Twitter with that new Spider-Man No Way Home poster, this one. I've seen a lot of people have a bit of an uproar on Twitter by saying, this No Way Home poster is rubbish. In the end, it's a poster. It doesn't really matter that much. The film to film, a poster to poster. I've seen some awful posters for great films before. Any that come to mind? The poster of Spider-Man Homecoming. Awful poster, quite enjoyed the movie. So, you know, in the end, a poster is a poster, and it doesn't affect the movie too much, although I do think this poster that I got up here now is much better than the one I just had up a couple of seconds ago. But anyway, you get the point. I'm very excited for Spider-Man No Way Home. The trailer worked for me. It's not my favourite trailer of the year so far. That would still probably go for the trailer of the Batman for me. I love the Batman trailer. But nevertheless, I do think this movie's going to be great. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Hopefully it's not too messy. Hopefully it's confident in its direction. And hopefully it, you know, gives time to all the villains and reintroduce in fantastic ways. Hopefully it has a free Spider-Man in there as well, because it's the best opportunity to do that. And hopefully it's a fantastic movie, and I can't wait to see it in just under a month in the UK. Sorry about that. If you're watching this in the US, I get to see it 2 days before you, or maybe a day before you, depending on when I do get to see it. But nevertheless, I get to see it before you if you're watching this in the US. Haha! But anyway, yes, that is the end of topic number 3. I'm very excited for Spider-Man No Way Home. Hopefully I'll get to talk about it a bit more on this channel, and I do have my review of Spider-Man Far From Home coming up later on this week. But nevertheless, No Way Home, I'm very excited for, and I think the movie could be great. Fingers crossed, it pulls out of the bag, and it pulls out of the stops, and hopefully it's an absolute blast when I go and watch it on December the 16th, when it comes out in the UK. Anyway guys, that's it now. That is the end of topic number 3 on this live stream for today. Don't have any live questions, so I'm going to wrap up this live stream now. So thank you as always for watching. If you're watching it live, it says no one's watching live on YouTube, so if you haven't watched this live, YouTube is lying to me, so thank you if you have watched this live though. And also thank you for watching the playback. And remember, if you have a topic you want me to talk about in my next live stream, please let me know in the comment section below, and I'll probably talk about it in my next live stream. And also guys, thank you as always for watching. If you haven't yet, please do click down below and subscribe on the video, and look forward to many more both film and TV views and live streams coming very, very soon on this channel. So please do click down below and like and subscribe. Don't want to go on there. But yes, thank you as always for watching, and see you guys again soon. So I just lost the rails a bit there. Lost the plot a bit there. But anyway guys, thank you as always for watching, and see you guys again soon. Bye bye for now. Bye.